Okay, so good evening to all of you. So we are actually discussing quadratic residues. It is chapter 9, right? So what are quadratic residues? So, they are here, but I will write one more time later. Okay, so that we will. It is because there is a large gap. You may forget this part. There is high chances, right? So let us recall everything and then I will proceed. Okay. Yeah. Right. So first of all, what is the definition? Okay. So quadratic residue definition. For that, first we have an odd prime. Let P be an odd prime and A comma P GCD1. So then A is said to be quadratic residue modulo P or not. So A now A regarding A. So we look at the quadratic congruence. X square is congruent to A mod B. If this has a solution, then we say that A is a quadratic residue modulo P. Otherwise, A is called quadratic non-residue modulo P. This is the definition. What is the definition? So A is said to be quadratic residue modulo P, right? A is said to be quadratic residue modulo P if this x square equal to A mod P has a solution. Otherwise, A is called quadratic non-residue modulo P, right? So examples we saw. So P is equal to 13 if you take, then x square equal to 1 mod 13 has a solution because 1 square is congruent to 1, right? So 2 square is congruent to 4. So 4 also is a x square equal to 4 has a solution. 2 satisfies. Similarly, 9 satisfies. 10 and 12 also. 10, how we got 10? 6 square is equal to 36. But if you do modulo 13, I'll get 10. So 5 square is equal to 12. 25 actually, but modulo 13, I'll get 12. So these are quadratic residues and remaining are quadratic non-residues, meaning x square equal to 2 mod 13 does not have a solution. Okay. So this is the first observation. I started with 13, but 13 may be difficult. So we start 3 now. X square equal to 1 mod 3 has a solution. X square equal to 2 mod 3 does not have a solution. So quadratic residue is 1 and quadratic non-residue is 2 under modulo 3. P equal to 5. 2 and 3 are quadratic non-residues, 1 and 4 quadratic residues. So you checked it actually, right? You take x square equal to 3 mod 5, then it will not satisfy. Okay, you can check x square congruent to 2 modulo 5. This does not have a solution, no solution. Okay, 1 you substitute 1 square, 2 square, 3 square, right? 4 square, none of them satisfies. So 2 is a quadratic non-residue. Similarly, 3 also you can check. So we done for 7 also. 1, 2, 4 are quadratic residues, 3, 5, 7 are quadratic non-residues. Then I asked you to observe and say something. Then you told that number of quadratic residues are p minus 1 by 2. Number of quadratic non-residues are p minus 1 by 2. And one more observation, you told that if A and B are quadratic residues, then their product also. How we proved it? If A and B are quadratic residues, then the x naught square equal to A mod P, x square equal to A mod P, and by x square equal to B mod P has a solution. What is that? X naught square equal to A, x1 square equal congruent to B mod P. Then the product is satisfied. Now later we observed that in order to find the quadratic residues, it is sufficient to look at 1 to up to p minus 1 by 2 and square them. So exactly those are the quadratic residues. Because if you take any two of them, if you square them, they are automatically distinct. That we proved actually. So if they are equal, what happens like that? We proved it. So if p divides their difference, then x equal to y we proved. So that's from that we observed that in order to find quadratic residues, I simply square 1 square, 2 square up to p minus 1 by 2 whole square and do modulo p, they are the quadratic residues. But when p is very large, then finding that way is difficult. Okay, anyhow. Now another observation we made is that minus 1 is not a quadratic residue when p is of the form 4k plus 3. Okay, so we proved it. Suppose it has a solution x naught square equal to minus 1 mod p, then by Fermat-Settle theorem, it contradicts, right? So that's why we proved it. So -1 is not a quadratic residue modulo P when P is of the form 4k plus 3. But -1 is a quadratic residue, we done it. Okay. So then you made other observation. If X is a quadratic residue modulo P where P is of the form 4k plus 1, then -X is also quadratic residue modulo P, right? So this much we done, and we gave the proof that why -1 is a quadratic residue modulo P. That is by Wilson's theorem. We done it earlier. X square equal to -1 mod P as a solution. Then we come to the main criteria. How to find a given number is a quadratic residue, right? So Euler gave a nice criterion. What is that? If P is an odd prime and A comma P GCD1, then A is a quadratic residue modulo P if and only if A power P minus 1 by 2 congruent to 1 modulo P. Okay, so this is a nice algorithm. See, look at, I want to find A is a quadratic residue or not. To find A is a quadratic residue or not, I want to check X square equal to A mod P as a solution or not. That means I have to substitute different values for X and check whether is there any X naught such that X naught square equal to A mod P, congruent to A mod P. But that is a difficult. Instead, that is one approach, that is a definition. But Euler gave that, no, just to work with A itself. Compute A power P minus 1 by 2 and check whether it is 1 mod P or not. Okay. So how the proof done? Suppose A is a quadratic residue modulo P. That means X square equal to A mod P has a solution, say X naught, right? Then X naught square is congruent to A mod P, right? Then that is A equal to X naught square mod P. So you computed A power P minus 1 by 2. Here it becomes 1 because by Fermat-Settle theorem. So A power P minus 1 by 2 congruent to 1 mod P. This side is easy. Now converse part, A power P minus 1 by 2 1 mod P, we need to show that A is a quadratic residue. That means we need to show that there is X square equal to A mod P as a solution. Okay. So how we done? But here we used that when P is a prime, UP is cyclic. It has a primitive root. That means there is an element R whose order equal to P minus 1. So that means that R is the generator for the cyclic group. Every element in UP is expressed as R power something. So A is also an element. So A equal to R power K for some K. Now A power P minus 1 by 2 is 1 is given. So R power K power P minus 1 by 2 equal to 1 mod P. So this product equal to 1 mod P. But order of R is P minus 1. So P minus 1 has to divide this. With that, we observed that K has to be even. So K equal to 2J. So A I can write R power K, I can write R power J whole square. That means A satisfies this equation, right? And later we realized that if P is an odd prime, so this is if and only if A is a quadratic residue. Okay. So, and we computed as other thing also, and finally, yeah. So this is the conclusion, final conclusion, right? If A power P minus 1 by 2, if A power P minus 1 by 2 congruent to 1 mod P, if and only if A is quadratic residue, A power P minus 1 by 2 is minus 1 mod P, if and only if A is quadratic non-residue. This is Euler's criteria. Any doubts till now? Okay, nothing actually. What is we done is that in this entire chapter, let P be an odd prime. Amya, is it okay? Everything fine?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Let P be an odd prime, right? And then what is that we are doing? We take an integer A comma P GCD1. What is the question? Question is that A is a quadratic residue or not? Residue modulo P or not? Okay, so that is by definition, when A is a quadratic residue modulo P, x square is congruent to A modulo P has a solution. There is a definition, right? But Euler's criteria, Euler gave criteria. Euler's criteria is A power P minus 1 by 2 is congruent to 1 modulo P. But is there any other ways? Okay, today we are going to discuss those. So for that, I'll just tell you what is my goal today so that you will be clear. Okay, the first thing is that Gauss gave another criteria. That is Gauss lemma. What is Gauss lemma? So are you here, every one of you? Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, okay. Look at carefully, concentrate. Let P be an odd prime. I will give examples, okay, in a while. First, let me tell the what is I'm going to do today. Let P be an odd prime. Okay, and A comma P GCD 1. Okay, then so Gauss gave something, so I'll define this symbol. Okay, this symbol is called Legendre symbol. I define in a while. Okay, which is equal to minus 1 whole power n. Okay, so nothing actually. If A by P equal to 1, then A is quadratic residue modulo P. If it is minus 1, it is a quadratic non-residue modulo P. Okay, either 1 or minus 1 only. So if A by P, this is a symbol. I'll explain you. This is a definition called Legendre symbol. Okay, so A by P equal to 1. If it is 1, then A is a quadratic residue modulo P. Otherwise, it's defined as minus 1 if A is a quadratic non-residue modulo P. So, but Gauss gave a nice formula that A by P, this symbol A by P is equal to minus 1 whole power n, where n is what? N is equal to what? Okay, I'm like writing theorem, but so what is that he considered is that he took S A, 2A, 3A, and so on, P minus 1 by 2A. Okay, then what is that he done? He divide each element in S by P. So take the reminders. Okay, so then how many of them are greater than P by 2? That number is this n. N is number of reminders greater than P by 2. I'll explain it. I'll explain. Let n is the number of reminders. N is the number of reminders in S greater than P by 2. Of course, after division by P. Okay, so I'll explain that now in here. So I am taking let P is equal to 13. Okay, and my A equal to 5. Then you know that 5 comma 13 GCD is 1. Okay, what is S? S is that A, 2A, 3A up to P minus 1 by 2A. So somebody can help me. What is S now?
5, 10, 15.
5, 10, 15,
15, 20, 25, 30.
20, 25,
25, 30.
30. Are you sure? Okay, good. These are the numbers. But I should not stop here. What is that I'll do? I divide these by 13, right? Divide all of them by 13 and take the reminders. So this is 5. Divide this by 13. Remainder is 10. This by 13. The remainder is 2. Divide this by 13. Remainder is 7. Remainder is 12. Remainder is 4. Write them in order. So what are the numbers? So 2, 4, 5, some gap I am giving here, 7, 10 and 12. So in these, how many are greater than 13 by 2? So greater than 13 by 2. In these, yeah, how many?
3.
3. So he told that Legendre symbol a by p is equal to -1 whole power this 3. Okay, in particular here in this example it is so 15 modulo 13. So 50 Legendre symbol which is equal to -1 whole power 3. So it is equal to -1. What is the meaning of that? So anyone who understood, tell me now what you can say from this. 5 is
Not a quadratic residue.
quadratic non-residue. What is the meaning of that again? By definition, is quadratic non-residue modulo 13. What is the meaning of that one again? That means
There
that,
does not exist any integer.
yeah, so x naught square, x square equal to 5 modulo 13 has no solution. That means looking like a square roots modulo 13. Okay, so you know that root 5 does not belong to cube, right? This is a field, but this field does not contain root 5. There are many fields like that. So later you will see in next year, those BSc students, they will see fields like q root 2, adjoining root 2. There also root 5 does not belongs. There are many fields does not contain root 5, but real numbers contains. Okay, but now ZPs, the ZPs are fields. Okay, these ZP are fields. They are grouped with respect to addition, with respect to multiplication, distributive or solid. It is a field. In field, which fields has solution, which field does not have square root? That is the question. Okay.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah.
How did you get 5 is quadratic non-residue?
That is this theorem. I'm not proved it.
Yes.
So what is he told is that Gauss will give a nice criterion. Okay. I want to check where is a quadratic residue or not. What is he told? Multiply a to each of these p minus 1 by 2 numbers. A into 2a into 3a up to p minus 1 by 2a. Now afterwards, what we do? We'll divide all of these by p. Then we'll get reminders. Divide each element in S by P, take the reminders. Now this N is the number of reminders in S greater than P by 2. So then he told that A by P equal to
-1 to the power.
power N. Okay. This A by P is the symbol. This is called a Legendre symbol.
Yes.
This is 1 if A is a quadratic residue. It is -1 when A is quadratic non-residue. Right? Yeah. So I took P equal to 13, A equal to 5. What is that? I want to check whether A is a quadratic residue or quadratic non-residue. That means I want to find this symbol 5 by 13. Okay. So what I am applying the Gauss algorithm, right? Gauss algorithm says that multiply A to each of these guys multiplied. Then afterwards I take the reminders. I got these. Then I checked that how many of them are greater than 13 by 2. 13 by 2 is how much? 6.5. So anyhow, we are looking odd prime. So 13 by 2 cannot be an integer. So it cannot be any one of them. Okay. Surely some of them are less than this and some of them are greater than this. Right. So that is his idea. Is it okay?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
So you see now till now just consolidate whatever we done. Okay. So P is an odd prime. A is an integer with A comma P GCD1. My question is that when A is a quadratic residue modulo P, so there are three approaches. First approach is by definition. X square is congruent to A mod P as a solution. What is the second approach? What is the third approach? Can somebody tell me what is the second approach?
Euler's criteria.
Euler's criteria. Euler's criteria says that to compute a power p minus 1 by 2, which is congruent to 1 mod p quadratic residue, otherwise it is quadratic non-residue, right? So you write a program. You want to, so there are algorithms are there, and you can write a Python program. Okay. So while writing it, one is method is definition, other is that a power p minus 1 by 2 you can compute by repeated square. Some algorithm is there in computer science. By using that, we can easily compute a power p minus 1 by 2. Then we will divide it by p, and it is 1 or minus 1 bhi hota hai, not more than that. That we can see by Fermat's-Little theorem. So that is one approach. What is the third approach? What is the third approach? Gauss lemma. Okay. Gauss lemma, what you do? Multiply a to 1 to p minus 1 by 2, and then divided by p. Look at how many of them are greater than p by 2. Okay. Yeah. So that way we can find out. So we'll compute one more example so that we'll understand. Okay. So what do you know about 2 by 7? What is this answer? Is x square is congruent to 7, 2 mod 7 has a solution?
Yes, sir.
Okay, what is that?
3.
3. 3 square equal to 9. 9 is congruent to 2 mod 7, so it has a solution. Has a solution. So that means 2 is a quadratic residue modulo 7. That means the Legendre symbol 2 by 7 is equal to 1. But we'll now compute by Euler's criteria. We already know the answer. This is a small prime, so easy to compute it. Now let us look at 2 power 7 minus 1 by 2 congruent to dash modulo 7. Okay, we'll figure out that. Yeah. So Aditya, can you help me?
Yes, sir.
7 minus 1 by 2.
3.
3. 2 power 3 is congruent to 1 mod 7. Is it correct?
Yeah, yes, sir.
Yes, this is also correct. With approach also we came to know that 2 is a quadratic residue modulo 7. Now apply Gauss lemma. In the Gauss lemma, what is that you do? 2 into 1, 2 into 2, 2 into 3 you compute. Am I correct?
Yes, sir.
Now, but later I divide them by 7.
Yeah.
But they will not go beyond 7. Why?
So they're less than 7.
Means I'm multiplying by 2 and I'm going up to p minus 1 by 2 only, right? So these are exactly the even numbers from 1 to 1, in between 1 to 7. Correct? Am I correct?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, good. So now how many of them are greater than?
P by 2.
What is p?
7. So,
So it is
2,
3.5. So how many of them are greater than p by 2?
2, 4, and 6.
So 2. So what is answer now by Gauss lemma? 2 by p equal to minus 1 power
2.
2. So it is 1. Is it clear to you?
Yes.
We proved all the 3 cases. Is anyone has a doubt here? So if you are clear, can you please tick yes? If you are not clear, then I'll ask you. I'll explain. I'm not going to do anything. So that I came to know that how many are here, how many not here. Okay. I'll not ask anyone. Just you tick yes or no. That's end the matter. Okay, thanks. But there are total 17 students are there. 17. So me and Kathy, if you remove, so Kathy, I'll make co-host. Yeah. So if you remove me and Kathy, then there are 15 students has to be there. But Manan Thakkar not ticked. Sankriti not ticked. Pusti Goel not ticked. What happened to you? Okay. Manan, are you there? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Okay. Good. So I'll give one more example. So those people who ticked without understanding, they can understand now. Okay. So can you give me one odd prime, which you like, small one? Any one of you?
3.
3 is very simple here. Nothing will be there. You already know, but okay, but we'll work with P is equal to 3. Now tell me A value. Because A is 1 and 2 only. But even then, which one you pick up?
2.
2, okay. Now what is your question? 2 by 3. Is it a quadratic residue or not? Okay. Now x square is congruent to 2 mod 3. Is it as a solution? Is it as a solution? Substitute 1 and 2. Yeah, so 1 does not satisfy. No? 1 square is congruent to 2 mod 3 does not satisfy. 2 square is also congruent to 1 mod 3, not 2 mod 3. So it does not have a solution. So what is 2 now? 2 is quadratic non-residue. Quadratic non-residue modulo 3. Now I will prove by using Fermat's-Little theorem. Sorry, Euler's criteria. 2 power 3 minus 1 by 2 is how much? 2 only, right? So 2 is congruent to dash modulo 3, 1 or minus 1? Minus 1, I don't know. It is maybe tough for you, I don't know. So 2 is congruent to minus 1 mod 3. Next one is, so we need to look at only one number. So that's why it is not interesting actually. So some big number, some little bigger number, not very big prime again. Calculations you need to do, right? I done for 7.
11.
11, good, very good, very good. So let us take P is equal to 11. Can you tell me A also?
6.
6, very good. So we choose 6. Is 6 is a quadratic residue or not? First of all, I need to check 6, 11 GCD1. Yes. Anyhow, prime number, so every number less than that is GCD1. Okay, now x square is congruent to 6 modulo 11. Is it has a solution or not? This is method 1. What is method 2? Euler's criteria. What is that? I have to take 6 power 11 minus 1 by 2 is congruent to what? That I have to check. Modulo 11. And we know that this is going to be plus 1 or minus 1 only. Method 3. Method 3 is what? Gauss lemma. What is the Gauss lemma says? I have to take a set S. What is the set S contains? 6, 2 into 6, 3 into 6. Is 4 into 6 also comes?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, 4 into 6 also comes because 11 minus 1 by 2 is 5. So 11 minus 1 by 2 is 5. So 5 into 6 also will come. Correct? Correct or not? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Now I should not stop here. I have to take the remainders. So 6. Now what is the 6 into 2 into 6? 12. But I have to take the remainder. So 1. So yeah. What is answer?
7.
Okay. 4
2.
into 6, 24. So 2. Very good. 5 into 6 is 30.
7.
Again 7.
Yes, sir. 33 is divided.
No, 5 into 6 is 30.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
8, right?
8. Yeah, sir.
They cannot be equal. You done it earlier. Because in the Fermat's Euler's theorem also, or Fermat's-Little theorem proof, none of these will give the same remainder. Are you okay?
Yes, sir.
We can prove if the two of them will give in the same remainder, then subtract and you can check it easily. So 11 cannot divide any difference of any of these two. So all of them will give different remainders. That we done earlier, and you can check also. Yeah. So if I keep proving everything, then you will get bored. Right. So 1, 2, yeah, 6, 7, 8. Okay. So now, so finally, what is your conclusion? Any one of you now?
Quadratic non-residue.
It is a quadratic non-residue. So we can prove by using here. So I'll substitute 1 square, 2 square, 3 square, 4 square, 5 square. Up to that extent only. No need to prove remaining. 1 square is not 6, 2 square, 3 square, 4 square. 4 and 5 only I need to check. 4 square is 16, but it is not congruent to 6 modulo 11. 5 square is 25. 25 is not congruent to 6 modulo 11. So with this, I'm getting the answer. What is 6 power 5? So you'll get -1 here. Okay, you can check it. And here, how many are greater than 11 by 2? 5. 5.5, right? The 3 are there. So it is. So is it now clear, all of you? I'm not going to repeat further. So till now we have that thing. Okay. Now I'm going to tell another criterion. Okay. First today I told you, I'm just first completing the what is that there in this chapter. So that exam ke liye preparation be you have a complete clarity on the chapter first. Okay. Next thing is that another lemma, but this is by Eisenstein, who is a student of Gauss. Okay. So basically final result is this one, that is called quadratic reciprocity law. So chapter is also about that. So the quadratic reciprocity law. Okay. The quadratic reciprocity spelling, yeah, CA. Reciprocity law. Okay, what is this? Actually, Gauss become very famous, and he is very happy with this result. And he himself told that mathematics is queen of all sciences. Number theory is queen of all mathematics. And quadratic reciprocity law is the queen of this number theory. Okay, let P and Q are two odd primes. Let P and Q be two odd primes. Okay, then P by Q into Q by P. I'll tell you later why this is so much important. Answer is very simple. P and Q are two odd primes, then P by Q into Q by P equal to -1 whole power P minus 1 by 2 into Q minus 1 by 2. Okay, I'll write little bigger. P by Q into Q by P is equal to -1 power P minus 1 by 2 into Q minus 1 by 2. Okay. So somebody tell me that when it become, you know that P and Q are odd primes. P comma Q are odd primes. Odd primes are in which form? Odd primes are in which form? Either 4k plus 1 or 4k plus 3. Can you tell me when it become -1? When it become -1? Can you tell me, somebody?
And both of them are of the form 4k plus 3.
Yeah, both of them are of the form 4k plus 3. Are you able to see that? See, P is of the form 4k plus 3. So 4k plus 3 minus 1 by 2. 2k plus 1, right? So both are of the form 4k plus 3, then only it is -1. In all other cases, means one of them is 4k plus 1, then done. It is even. Okay. So it become 1. So what is the advantage of this one? So actually this is I can find P by Q from Q by P. That is the idea here. So P by Q, Legendre symbol P by Q, I can get from Q by P. So that is the idea, and you will realize later slowly. And it is sufficient to look for only primes and all. So finally, he brought to this. Okay, to prove this result only, he gave so many proofs for this. Gauss himself gave many different proofs, and he gave different proofs for there is a reason. Okay, so he want to extend it to cubic reciprocity law like that, very big. Yeah. So later I sometime I'll tell you even reciprocity laws are very important. Okay, good. So now, so to prove that result only, Gauss gave this Gauss lemma, and he proved it. But in between, so to give simple proof for this quadratic reciprocity law, this I16, the student of Gauss gave another result. By using this proof becomes simple. So many proofs are there, but by using this lemma, this proof becomes simple. What is this lemma says? Let P be an odd prime. A is an odd integer with A comma P GCD1. So be careful here. In the previous results, there is no restriction on A. But in this Eisenstein's lemma, A is an odd integer. Then he told that A by P is isomorphic to, yeah, A by P is equal to, so this number actually, yeah, it is +1 or -1, right? Legendre symbol. So he gave very simple thing that -1 power summation K is equal to 1 to P minus 1 by 2 Ka by P. Okay. So is it not look simple? I'll write below. You tell me if you have any difficulty. A by P Legendre symbol is equal to, what is that? -1 power. Yeah. Somebody tell me.
Summation.
Summation, not Amiya, somebody else.
K1 to P minus 1 by 2.
K equal to 1 to P minus 1 by 2.
Ka by P.
Ka. So K is given. Sorry, P is given. A is given. So these are given. I want to know whether A is a quadratic residue modulo P or not. K is changing. K is changing from 1 to P minus 1 by 2. Right? And so I'm multiplying again, like same Gauss like only. K is multiplied to A. But now I'm dividing by P again. But this is the greatest integer function. Okay. Now what is how do you write the program now? So now you want to write some program, right? What you compute? So simply multiply A to A into 1 by P, A into 2 by P, A into 3 by P, like that A into P minus 1 by 2 into P. Take their greatest integer and add them and do power -1. Now this is the answer he told. So see with the beauty that how people one after the another proved. In that Gauss theorem, so what is that? What is this number? You remember? This number is n. What is that n? What is n there?
Number of
Number of elements in S. Which,
greater than P
by,
minus
after
P by 2.
P by 2. The numbers which are number of elements in that product, that set S, which are greater than P by 2, right? But in the Gauss lemma, there is no problem of having even or odd. A can be anything, but here odd only. But he gave this approach. Okay. Then by using this proof becomes simple. This quadratic reciprocity law. Okay. And later, a lot of applications are there, even in the cryptography and many places actually. Now, coding theory, many codes, in the coding theory, communications, right? They will use very frequently quadratic residues, everything. See, these are now looking theory, but they are very useful. So let us see one example again. Okay, let us see one example. So let us compute 5 by 11. Okay, 5 by 11. So now you know how to compute by previous 3 ways. Now I want to compute by using Eisenstein's lemma. What is that he will do? Okay, so he computes 5 is A, right? We'll compute 5 into 5 by 11 greatest integer function plus 5 into 2 by 11 greatest integer function plus 5 into 3 by 11, 5 into 4 by 11 and 5 into 5 by 11. Yeah, greatest integer function. Okay, what is 5 by 11 is 0. 5 into 2, 10 by 11, again 0, greatest integer. 5 into 3, so 1 here. 5 into 4, 20 by 11, again 1 here. 5 into 5, 25 by 2, so it is 2. So what is answer? 4. So now 5 by this is equal to minus 1 whole power 4. It is equal to 1. Is it true? Is the 5 is a quadratic residue? X square is congruent to 5 modulo 11 has a solution.
Yes, sir.
What is that?
4.
4, huh?
Yes.
4 square is 16. Yes, correct. Very good. Thank you. X equal to 4 is the solution. Then automatically minus 4 is also solution. But minus 4 modulo 11, that is 11 minus 4. So 11 minus 4 is 7, right? 7 square also satisfies this. 49 minus 5. So it is all satisfied. So these two are the solutions. Okay. Actually, Gauss has so other aspect actually. So his intentions are different. So actually that you will understand after the next algebra 2 class ke baad. But even then I'll tell you for to motivate some of you. So actually you have Z integers, right? From integers you will construct a field Q. So above this there is some other field Q of, for example, root 5. Okay. Then there is a something called ring of integers here. So how the primes here split here? When you go to bigger ring, they are no longer primes. So you know Z of I, Gaussian integers. So 5 is no longer 5 prime here. 5 is equal to 2 plus I into 2 minus I. Okay. So you know R of I is complex numbers. Z of I is means your coefficients are A plus IB, where A and B are the integers only. I'm not taking real numbers. If I take real number, that is whole complex number. That is very big field. Okay, only I take Q of I. That is a field, and this is a ring of integers. How they split. So there is a big history. There is a lot of things are there involved. Why people are doing this problem? Quadratic reciprocity law. You take a quadratic extension. So there is a field. It's a quadratic extension below where this prime splits. So there is a big story. So just to motivate, I told this, but don't worry. Huh? Don't worry. This is not related to your exam or something. Yeah. But I need to tell that at least some people get motivation. Okay, good. Any questions before going further? This is entire chapter, but I have to prove now these things. Before proving, I'll give you one nice application so that you will appreciate. Okay. So see, now you will understand why we are doing all these things. Okay. One shot we are doing. So look at this. You will understand. Before that, do you know that what about this minus 1 by p? I'll explain you this. With this, we will be appreciate actually what we are doing actually. We concentrate, you will enjoy like anything. Okay, why we are actually doing quadratic residues? You know that x square plus 1, right? Is it has a root in real numbers, Vishal?
Yes, sir. I didn't hear you. Could you repeat that?
No, is it has a solution in rational numbers? I changed after you asked. Is it has a solution in rational? There is a rational number satisfy this. Is there any rational
Yes, sir.
number? Huh?
X here is -1.
-1 square, how much?
-1 square is 1, so 1 plus 1 is 2, which is rational.
No. I am looking for is there any rational which satisfies this equation? Means this polynomial means equal to 0. Okay.
Okay,
Is there any number which is a root for this polynomial?
no, sir.
Let us say this is p of x equal to x square plus 1. So is it has a solution? Right? That is a question. In a rational, there is
Not
no
in Q.
solution. Right?
Yes.
What about in real numbers?
No, sir.
No. But in complex numbers?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Right? So certain fields it has solution, certain field does not have a solution. Right? Similarly, but I want to look at now x square is congruent to -1 modulo p. Where it has solution, where it is not solution. Are you following? Let us work
Yes,
out.
sir.
X square is congruent to -1 modulo 5. Is it as a solution? -1 is
Yes,
nothing
sir.
but what
X is
mod?
equal to 2.
Yeah, very good. X equal to 2. 2 square congruent to -1. So there it has a solution, right? What about mod 3?
No, sir.
No, here no solution, here solution. So I keep changing primes. So that is this. So when my prime equal to 3 here, what is answer? Your answer?
So it's not quadratic residue.
That means this symbol is 1 or -1, right?
-1.
In that case, it is -1. When it is 1, it is 5. Correct. So in fact, I am proving sir everything. See, 1 if. So can you say now?
If quadratic residue.
No, that -1 is quadratic residue,
Okay.
fine. But that means if this x square equal to -1 mod p has a solution. I want to find all p's. Not, I cannot check how many primes are there.
Infinite.
How do you check? Your life is sufficient? No, right?
No, sir.
Is there any method? So that is what I'm telling you. We already done. Somebody else can say, not Amir. Somebody else can
4k
say,
plus 1.
right?
4k plus 1.
Yeah. So P is of the form 4k plus 1, then it has a solution. Otherwise, it does not have a solution. -1 if P is of the form 4k plus 3. You see that? That means actually we are converted this problem. X square is x square plus 1 congruent to 0 mod b has a solution or not. So that we converted into p is congruent to 1 mod 4 and p is congruent to 3 mod 4. If this is this one, then it has a solution, right? If it is this, it does not have a solution. You see the beauty? I no need to check whether I substitute and check. I simply check p. I divide it by 4. If the remainder is 1, yes, it has solution. If it is 3, yes. So now are you appreciating now, Vishal?
Yes, sir.
Are you understanding the power here?
Yes, sir. I understand it.
Yeah, we are not actually checking. We are just checking that p is only we are computing p. P is of the, so that is the beauty. Now I'll tell you now. So this is one thing. What about this 1 by p? For which primes it is quadratic residue, which primes it is not quadratic residue? One by p. Means x square equal to 1 mod p as a solution. See, you are now unnecessarily thinking so much. More education spoils, no? Like that.
Yes, sir. For one exercise.
No, what is what you can substitute?
One.
1. So this is always it is always a quadratic residue for every prime. Now there is no restriction on the prime. In fact, any n. Okay. So this is true for every case. So this is not interesting. -1 is interesting. We done. Now the next one is 2 by p. What do you mean by 2 by p? It is either 1 or -1. So when it is 1, when it is -1, which primes it is 1, which primes it is -1. Are you understanding? We'll figure out now. We'll find out now. We'll find out why when it is 1 and when it is -1. Right? What is the meaning of that one? I take a 1 prime p. So for example, what is 2 by 11? So when it is 1, x square congruent to 2 mod 11 has a solution. Correct? But for that I have to compute and check. But this is for any prime p. Now again I look at some congruences. With that I can tell you that is the goal here. Okay, are you ready to explore? So Kathy, are you here?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. Okay, so let us work out. So which method will go? Anyone can suggest? We done
Euler's criterion. Euler's criterion.
Euler's criteria is one thing, but Euler's criteria, what is that we need to do? 2 power
P minus 1 by
2. Yeah, that is one approach. But you see that Gauss lemma is appropriate here. Why? Why Gauss lemma is useful? Because Gauss lemma pe we are multiplying. So we done here also. You see, you will understand now. So in the Gauss lemma, what is happening? See, you look at a to a up to p minus 1 by 2 into a. So divide each element in S by P and take the remainders and look at the number. N is the number of remainders greater than P by 2. But my A equal to what here? 2. Then 2, 2 into 2, 3 into 2 and P minus 1 by 2 into 2. What is that I'll get? All even numbers. Easy for me to check how many are greater than P by 2 and how many are greater than less than P by 2. Am I correct or not correct?
Yes, sir.
That is easy. Okay. Okay, let us check. So you tell me now. So now 2 by P, now by using Gauss lemma, is anyone has a doubt or anything to want me to explain? I'll explain. So Tusti, are you here? Tusti Goel? I had doubt actually. Yeah. Okay, fine. Yeah, so 2, 4, 6 and so on up to, of course, depending upon the prime. Prime is 5 only, then I not go up to 4, I will stop, right? Up to I'll go P minus 1. Are you understand this? My S is equal to 2 into A into 1, A into 2, up to A into P minus 1 by 2. But my A equal to 2 here. What is that I do next? I divide all of them by P. I take the remainders, but already these numbers are less than P. So I no need to do reminders now. See, is it not beautiful? Okay. One more thing. So how many of them are greater than, in these, how many of them are greater than P by 2? That is I want to find out. So, but how many of them are less than P by 2? Are you following? So somebody can give me some hint or something.
Excuse me, sir. Why did you say that we don't need to find the remainders? They'll all be small. Can you
Good question. So you tell me, sir, if I divide 2 by p, what is the remainder I'll get?
Yeah, you'll get 2.
4, 6, p minus 1. If I divide it by p, what is the remainder I'll get?
Yeah.
So all of them I'll get the same remainders. Already they are all less than p. See,
Okay. Yes.
yeah, because see, in the Gauss lemma, we are multiplying the elements by a is multiplied a into 1, to a into 2, a into 3, up to a into p minus 1 by 2. But my a itself is 2, then I do not even cross p minus 1. No need to divide by p.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that's why this here 2 by p evaluate करने के लिए this is easy. Okay. So somebody can tell me how many of them. So they are in which form? All elements are even, right? All of them are even. P is an odd prime. So they are of the form 2k. Now tell me that when is 2k is less than p by 2. So what is the k? It is 2 into 1, 2 into 2, 2 into 3, correct? So up to some extent, they are less than p by 2. Afterward, they are greater than p by 2. They are already in ascending order. That is another beauty here in this particular problem, right? आपने देखा था पहले कुछ गड़बड़ गड़बड़ आया था. Means they are not all of them are in increasing or decreasing, right? I hope you understanding, but anyhow, I'll show one thing which I already proved. Look at here, 13 and 5, right? So I multiplied 5 into 1, 5 into 2, 5 into 3, up to 5 into 6. But you look at after taking remainders, so 2 came here. They are not in order. Yeah. Yeah. Now tell me. I hope you understand my question. So 2 into 1, 2 into 2, 2 into 3, up to some extent I'll go. What is the largest k I can go? So that still it is less than p by 2. That itself already available here. What is the largest integer I take? So that 2 into k still less than p by 2. But if I take anything more than that, it becomes greater than p by 2. What is that number?
P by 4.
Very good. P by 4. But P by 4, very good. P by 4 is a good answer. But a little modify because I need integer.
P minus 1 by 4.
Okay, but instead of that, what I do, I take p by 4. But why I'm telling p minus 1 by 4 is also a problem because p is of the form 4k plus 3 or something. It's still a problem. Are you following?
Yes.
By 4, I'm not doing by 2. Yeah. So I'll take greatest integer function. What happens if my number is greater than this number? Right. Clearly that is greater than that's false here. Am I clear?
Yes.
Now can you somebody tell me now what is n in the Gauss lemma? How many are greater than p by 2? Correct.
Yes.
So who will help me? My n is how many these numbers which are greater than p by 2. But I know that 2 into 1, 2 into 2, up to 2 into maximum where I can go greatest integer of p by 4. I'll go up to here only.
So
So
p minus
P
1 by
minus
2 minus this thing.
Yeah, please go ahead. Please tell. Say loudly, confidently. No, don't worry. Mistakes, let it come. You are people doing first time, right? Don't worry. Yeah, please. How many are there total here? You see, 2 into 1, 2 into 2, up to 2 into p minus 1 by 2. Total p minus 1 by 2 are there. So p minus 1, p by 4 greatest integer are less than here. Correct. So n equal to, now tell me at least now.
P minus 1
minus
minus
1 by 2 minus,
P by 4. Okay.
correct? Yeah, good. This is the answer, correct? Okay. Yeah, so then this is the answer. So now my 2 by p equal to how much? Minus 1 power this n. Now depending upon this n, I know whether 2 is a quadratic residue or not. But n is depends on what? N value depend on what?
P.
P. So it depends upon P. And now I'll tell you what is that I'm going. Okay. Suppose, so you divide P by 8 now. Okay, then you'll understand later why I'm doing that part also. So if I divide it by 8, then what are the possibilities for a prime, in which form it is? If you divide it by 8, numbers of the form 8k or 8k plus 1, 8k plus 2 up to 8k plus 7. But primes in which form? 8k plus 1, some primes will be there, correct? 17, for example, 8 into 2 plus 1. Some primes of the form 8k plus 3 also. Some primes of the form 8k plus 5. Some primes of the form 8k plus 7. Do you have any primes of the form 8k? No. 8k plus 2? No. 8k plus 4? No. 8k plus 6? No. Because they are all divisible by 2 already. Any doubts? No doubts. Okay. Now let us work out slowly. If my p is of the form 8k plus 1, then what is my n equal to? Can you tell me now? 8k plus 1 by 8k plus 1 minus 1. So do you want me to compute everything or you will tell me the answer? Okay, I'll write maybe.
4k plus 1.
Yeah, so here what is the first? So see, I'll write one more time. So it is not visible there. So I'll write n again. So it is p minus 1 by 2 minus p by 4. Correct? Okay.
Yes.
Now my p is 8k plus 1. So then what happens? Here how much I will get?
4k.
4k.
4k minus,
1.
so divided by 4. So it is by 4 means 2k plus 1 by 4. Am I agree? Do you agree? Yeah.
Yes.
What is the answer? Final answer? It's the greatest integer function.
4k minus 2.
2k, sir.
2k, correct. Because this is 4k, this is greatest integer function. 2k plus 1 by 4. 1 by 4 greatest integer pe only it will get 2k.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
So
Yes, sir.
finally it is 2k. So then if p is of the form 8k plus 1, then what is minus 1? Sorry. Then what is 2 by p now? 2 by p equal to minus 1 power n. 2 by p equal to minus 1 power n, right? But my n is now 2k. What is the answer? I'll get 1. That means you take any prime of the form 8k plus 1, then x square equal to congruent to 2 mod p has a solution. You no need to check now. We are proved it. By Gauss lemma, it is coming. You see the beauty now? If you want, you can check. For example, you take 11, you take 8k plus 1, right? What is the smallest prime of the form 8k plus 1? 17 only, right? Yeah, 17 only. So in the 17, do you have a solution for this? I'm just checking once. See, you cannot do 2 square, 3 square, 4 square. Now 5 square onwards only we have to do. 5 square also not working. 6 square. Is 6 is a solution?
Yes, sir. 6.
6 is a solution, then what is the other solution?
17 minus 6.
17 minus 6 is another solution. What is 17 minus 6? 11. 11 square is 121. 121 minus 2, 119. I think that is also divisible by 17. Okay, so this is correct. So it has a solution. Okay, of course, we need one solution. We got it. Okay, now what we can say about 8k plus 3 now? Okay, if P is of the form 8k plus 3. Now, can you tell me now what is n equal to in this case?
So n is equal to -1. Oh, sorry, n is equal to 2k plus 1.
Wow. So thanks, Vishal. Many thanks actually. I hope you can also compute, right? Nothing actually, not much. Okay. I request you to compute. So nothing, you substitute here and check. I hope you agree with me that later that it is 2k plus 1. If P is of the form 8k plus 5 also, you are going to get 2k plus 1 only. Okay. So when P is of the form 8k plus 7, let us work out this. Okay. One case. 8k plus 7 minus 1 by 4, 2 by 2. Yeah. Minus P by 4. 8k plus 7 by 4. Yeah. What is this? Final answer, can somebody tell me?
2k plus 5.
2k plus 5. Okay, work out. So it is 2k plus 6. Okay, thanks, Mehak. You are there. Okay, good. 8k plus 6 by 2. 8k plus 6 by 2 is 2k plus 3 minus. What is this answer? 4k by 8k by 4 is 2k plus 7 by 4, right? Yeah. Am I done mistake? It is 4k here. Yeah, sorry. It is 4k. Yeah, now tell me what is the final answer?
So it will not be 7 by 4, right? It will be 2k plus 1 plus 3 by 4 in the
Yeah,
greatest
that's
integer.
okay. 7 by 4 again I'll write. So
Okay, yeah.
it is 2k plus 1. That's what you are telling.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So final answer is how much? 2k plus 2. It is even, right? Are you okay? So finally, what is that? Can somebody can? So Kathy, are you here?
Yes, sir.
So can you conclude, Kathy? Maybe otherwise may be useful. So
Yes.
2 by
Yes,
2
sir.
is equal to 1 and
So,
minus 1. Yeah.
so when P is of the form 8k plus 1,
P is congruent to 1 mod 8.
and P is congruent to 7 mod 8.
Very good. Yeah. Minus 1 if
Minus 1 if it is congruent to 3 mod 8 and 5 mod 8.
okay. You see the beautiful. So now you don't worry about when we'll solve each and every prime. So Amya, is it okay?
Yes, sir.
Very good. Now, is there a nice way? So you people are worrying that I have to divide by 8 and see the remainder. Of course, not much complicated dividing by 8, but there is a nice another beautiful way to look into this. Okay, let us work out that. Okay, so look at that 8k plus 7 is actually equal to 8k plus 1 minus 1. Do you understand that? Okay, so people will say that 8k plus 7 has actually 8k minus 1. Okay, 8k minus 1 is same as, don't worry about k, it is a form only. Na? So 8k plus 7 is again of the form 8k plus 8k minus 1. Okay, so that's why I take now 8k plus or minus 1. Means 8k plus 1 or 8k plus 7. Right? So now let us look at that what is going to happen to this. Okay, and now I'm computing. You do not know why I'm computing, but I'll tell you in a while. Okay, sorry for this. Means in order to tell that thing, I have to motivate a lot, but so I'm because of lack of time and I'm giving this now. So I'm computing p square minus 1 by 8 when p is of the form. First, I'm computing this value when p is 1 or a7. Okay, somebody gave this approach. Okay, now whole square minus 1 by 8. What is going to happen to this? Yeah, can you tell me? What is the final answer you get if you square it and subtract and divide it by 8 and all? Are you able to see that?
8k square plus
Hmm.
minus 2k.
Very good. Plus or minus 2k. Thanks, Vishal, again. Very good. 8k square plus or minus 2k. Okay. Now look at this. 8k plus or minus 3. 8k minus 3 is nothing but 8k plus 5 only. Okay. Yeah. So whole square minus 1 by 8 again. So this also will compute. Okay. Slowly compute it. Let me show properly. Yeah. So can you check this is equal to 8k square. So we'll get na 64k square, right? So 8k square plus or minus 6k plus 3.
Plus 1.
1 na? Plus 1 or plus 3?
1, sir.
1.
Plus 1. But
But whatever it is, not a problem because it is, you know, this number now. It is odd and it is even. So now, can you see that if it is of the form 8k plus 5 or 8k plus 3, then p square minus 1 by 8 becomes odd. It is of the form 8k plus 1 or 8k plus 7, that p square minus 1 by 8 becomes even. So now one single way to write 2 by p equal to, now can you help me somebody? Achila, can you tell?
P square minus 1
P square minus 1. Yeah, good.
by 8.
A by 8. Beautiful, right? You no need to check now all those. So just check with this. So 2 by p you compute. I want to know whether 2 is a quadratic residue modulo p or not. For that you compute minus 1 power p square minus 1 by 8. Okay, so p square curl minus 1 curl by divided by 8 curl. So depending upon that whether it is a solution that there or not. One single approach. Okay, now we computed 2 by p also. Okay, now you know that now we need to show, you know that okay, I'll ask some questions before going further. Okay.
Excuse me, sir. I
Yeah,
have a
yeah.
doubt.
Uh,
Sir, I got the earlier way you wrote 2 by p, but here, why were you computing p square minus 8?
So actually instead of writing 1 mod 8, 7 mod 8, 3,
Yes, sir.
so somebody computed that p square minus 1 by 8 is telling it is even when p is of the form 4k plus 1, 8k plus 1 or 8k plus 7.
Okay.
It becomes odd when it is of the form 8k plus 3 or 8k plus 5. So because that now single-handedly one instead of writing 4 conditions here, so we are simply writing this. All these entire thing is now zipped. It is a zipped file now. P square minus 1 by 8 is taken care of. Is it okay?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Very good. Okay, now I'll ask few questions before going further. Right. So now, so somebody tell me that what is this value? Just some gap. You know, it is 1 or minus 1. You tell me. Is that means x square is congruent to 4 modulo 7. You don't you find solution to this? Is it that difficult?
1, sir.
This value is 1 because 2 square satisfies. No? In general, what is that? A square quadratic residue P. What is answer to this? 1. Why? X square is congruent to A square modulo P. Is it has a solution? Yes, A itself is satisfying. Correct. A itself is satisfying. So this always 1. Okay, very simple. I'm just for a little gap and refresh. I'm just asking this. Okay. Now I'm giving you that A is congruent to B modulo 7, B modulo P. Then what we can say? Is it true that A by P is A by P equal to B by P? See,
Yes.
yeah, so how do you prove it? Okay, now let us check. So you take x square is congruent to A mod P. Okay. For example, if it has a solution, what that happens? What that means? X naught square congruent to A mod P. But A is congruent to B mod P. By transitivity, B is congruent to X naught square. So B also quadratic residue. If does not have solution, that does not have solution. So this is true. So that is the reason I no need to go beyond P. Okay. So this is sufficient to check only from 1 to up to P minus 1. So if I take another number P, that is 0. So 0, no need to worry. P plus 1 is same as 1 only. P plus 1 is congruent to 1 mod. So to find whether A is a quadratic residue modulo P, that only I'll check. First I'll divide it by P, take the remainder, that only I check. Okay, good, nice. So this is done. Okay. Now another question is that summation K is equal to 1 to P minus 1, P minus 1. So I'll now check you how many of you are attentive. If you're able to tell this one, you are very good. So do you want me to explain this? Let us take P is equal to 5. What is that I'm asking? 1 by 5 plus 2 by 5 plus 3 by 5 plus 4 by 5.
Sir, is it 0?
Yeah, so why it is 0?
We were saying that P minus 1 by 2 of them will have 1, and then the other half will have minus 1. So
Exactly. Half of them are quadratic residues and half of them are quadratic non-residues. Okay, yes, exactly. So this is always equal to 0. Okay, because half of them are quadratic residues, half of them are quadratic non-residues. That way again zipped file. This is a zipped file. That information is zipped here. Okay, good. So this is another question I have. Okay, let me see. More anything. Okay. So is it easy to see that AB by P is equal to A by P into B by P? What is the meaning of this? First try to understand, then we'll do it.
Sir, how is sir? how is AB by P equal to A upon P into B upon P? Isn't it going to become AB upon P square?
No, it is not multiplication. It is a
Oh.
Legendre symbol.
Oh, right. Sorry.
It is a Legendre. It is not a product. It is a Legendre symbol. Okay, for example, what is that I'm asking is that 6 by 5. Is it equal to 2 by 5 into 3 by 5? But what is 6 by 5? 6 by 5 is nothing but 1 by
1
5,
by
correct?
5.
Yeah, but 1 by 5 you already know. What is answer? It is 1. Correct. Now what is answer for 2 by 5? Legendre symbol 2 by 5. Why you are taking such time?
-1.
Here it is -1. What about for 3 by 5? Again -1. Okay, these two are -1, right? So -1 into -1 plus 1. So they are satisfied here. That is what I want to convey. Yeah. So now come up now. Are you able to prove that these two are equal? Here it is equal, right? So do you want to prove in 7 case? Okay, let us check. 6 by 7. You know the answer for the 6 by 7. What is this equal to? Somebody can tell very fast.
Yes, sir.
What is answer?
1.
No. See, 6 is nothing but -1. You remember?
Yeah, okay, yeah, 6 is congruent to minus.
Yeah. So and 7 is of the form
4k
4k plus 3. So then it does not have solution. X square plus 1 does not have a solution. So it is -1. Okay, that's why I'm asking several questions because of that. See, problem is that so now you are understanding, you attend the class, you understand, but afterwards you will not go into, you are not doing the problems. Yeah, how long I do all the problems for you also, right? That is a otherwise you will tell very fast. Actually, all these things you will tell very fast. I know that many of you are understanding now without any doubt, but if I ask after a few days, you will not tell. Anyhow, I'll not go into that now. Let us look at this 2 by 3 into 2 by 7 into 5 by 7. What is the answer? Okay. So one of them is a quadratic residue, one of them is quadratic non-residue. So in 7, what are the quadratic residues? You remember, 1 is a quadratic residue, right? 2 is a quadratic residue, right? Because 3 square is congruent to 2 mod 7. So 2 is a quadratic residue. Is there any other? 4 is a quadratic residue because 2 square is congruent to 4 mod 7, right? And remaining automatically quadratic non-residues. What are those? 3, 5, and 6. You also checked 6 is not quadratic residue already, right? And now 2 by 7 is +1 and 3 by 7 is -1. Product is -1. Okay. Now if somebody can prove it now. How can you prove it?
Sir, if EB have a solution, then we can show that if A has a solution and B has a solution, then we can show EB has a solution and vice versa.
But we need to prove all the cases. See, one has solution, other has not solution, both have solution, both does not have solution. All these cases are there. So someone will come up with a new, some nice idea.
Can use Euler's criterion.
Wow, very good. I think Amiya, right? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, good. Yeah, use Euler's criteria. What is AB by P? It is AB whole power P minus 1 by 2. Now congruence actually. Why congruence? AB power P minus 1 by 2 is a big number, but I had to do modulo P, right? But this is nothing but what? This is A power P minus 1 by 2 into B power P minus 1 by 2. Okay, modulo P. right? So this is nothing but A by P and B by P. Okay, so see the beauty. Yeah, good. No problem. So what is the advantage of this result? That we need to understand. Okay. So now you take any natural number. Okay, I want to find n by p, correct? You see that? What is n by p? Right? For example, my n is equal to say 60. What is 60 by p? Can somebody help me?
So
So 3
we
by
can,
p into 5 by p.
Ah, very good. Very good. How you told? Vishal, can you explain to everyone?
oh, so it wasn't me, it was somebody else.
Oh, it is not Vishal. Okay. See, 2 square into 3 into 5 by p. Who is that? Please, means very quick actually. That's why I want to know.
Yes, sir. I said it. So, Amir.
Amia?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So, yeah, you know that, see, 2 square, so it is actually 2 square by p, 3 by p into 5 by p. Correct? Now, 2 square by p is how much? You already know. It is already square. So it is 1. So forget about that. It is only 3 by p into 5 by p. So what is that you understanding now? Can somebody say something now? So that in order to compute n by p, what is that I need to know?
Prime factorization of n.
Prime fact. Is it actually, now one more thing, is it a multiplicative function? Is it a completely multiplicative function? Look at that. Okay. So what is that I'm telling? You are now by p only. Here dot is a function. It is a function from where to where? Natural number to where it goes. If it is a prime, so I not define. I'll define it now. One more case is there. Generally, we are confined to a comma p GCD1. Okay. Now I define it actually. A by p much more general case I define. It is 1 if A is quadratic residue modulo p. It is -1 if A is quadratic non-residue modulo p, which is equal to 0 if p divides A. We are not taking this case A comma p GCD1, right? But p divides A, it is defined as 0. So then it is a map from where to where? Can somebody help me?
-1, 0, 1.
Yeah, -1, 0, 1. Okay. Yeah, this is a function. So now we can easily check that. So can somebody help me whether it is a multiplicative or completely multiplicative and something like that?
It's completely multiplicative.
It is completely multiplicative. Wonderful. Okay, it is. See, we proved that exactly. See, you proved that AB by P equal to. That's what I'm expecting. AB by P equal to A by P into B by P. I'm not asked that A comma P GCD1. So the beauty is that. So it is a completely multiplicative function. So those who are attending today, I hope you understand that how beautiful the subject is. So then where I have to compute when I give prime here, where I have to compute? It is sufficient to compute for
Any prime not equal to p.
any prime. Okay, any prime actually. So it is sufficient prime per prime. So but p is odd prime. So which primes I have to compute? 2 also. But 2 separately we already computed. Now other primes. So that is what the Gauss lemma is. Gauss theorem, quadratic reciprocity law. You understand? So everything now boils down to this p by q. So in order to find p by q, what is the quadratic reciprocity law says? So compute for, so he told quadratic reciprocity law say that p by q into q by p is equal to, yeah, so this is the beautiful result, okay? Quadratic reciprocity law. I wrote 2 times wantedly. P by q into p and q are 2 odd primes. So Now from this, somebody can help me. So I'll write one more time, okay? Here. So P Legendre symbol P by Q into Legendre symbol Q by P is equal to -1 power P minus 1 by 2 into Q minus 1 by 2, correct? But now I want to express this P by Q is equal to, yeah, I want to take Q by P this side. How can I take? See, I'm asking, I'm not asked this earlier. Now I am asking now because I proved something. How far you can utilize, but not Amya. Okay, somebody else. Yes, fast.
Sir, can you multiply by Q by P because it's 1 or -1 only, so
Very good. What is Q by P into Q by P? 1. Yeah. Q by P into Q by P is 1. So multiply both sides by Q by P. Wonderful, Aditya. Thank you.
yes.
Good. Very nice. So multiply by Q by P. So it becomes now -1 power P minus 1 by 2 into Q minus 1 by 2 into, right, into Q by P. Okay. So in order to compute P by Q, I'll compute Q by P. Why this is useful again? Somebody can explain that. If you're able to see that one, then really great.
So if Q is large, it will be hard. So we can,
Yeah, who is that? Who is that? Please plus tell me your name.
so Vishal.
Vishal, wonderful, Vishal. Really, really great. Yes. I'm putting some parts here. See the beauty that the Vishal told. Are you able to understand that? So when yeah, when P is when Q is large, na, so I'll compute. I'll reverse it. Q by P. I'll compute. See?
Okay. Yes.
Yeah. Now again, you see that here. Oh, why I give this much gap? I don't know. Okay. Yeah. Anyhow, so in this gap, I'll fill something. So I don't know. Okay. Otherwise, I can take it here. So there is a problem. Yeah, here I do. Yeah. Is it new implement? Yes. Okay, good. Yeah. Yeah, so that is the advantage, right? Because you understood that A is congruent to B mod P, A by P equal to B by P. We done this. So yeah. So then I'll just try to compute only that part. That is another beauty of this quadratic reciprocity law. Okay. So let us work out some examples so that it becomes easy for us. Okay. So let us work out. So proofs, okay. See, I'm not going to ask proofs in the exam, at least these proofs. Because of that, so at least exam ke liye, you can compute these things. Okay. Okay. So I'll just give some problems so that I do not remember exactly. Okay. Okay. So we'll compute 29 by 53. 29 by 53. You want to compute this Legendre symbol. Okay. What is that you do now? What is the first step?
So
Capi-
-1,
Yeah.
-1 into 14. -1 raised to power 14 into 52 by 2.
Why you are doing that much? Okay, let us work out. Okay, you may be telling for some reason, so I'll come to you. Somebody else can tell me other approach.
So we can just flip this symbol.
Flip. So for flipping के लिए, what is that we need to do?
At least one should be of the form 4k plus
So
1.
actually I do that. This is 29 minus 1 by 2 into minus 1 power 29, 29 minus 1 by 2 into 53 minus 1 by 2, right? Product of these two into 53 by 29, right? Yeah. So now tell me what is this answer?
First thing is 1.
Oh, 29 is of the form 4k plus 1. So this is 1. So no problem. So this is equal to what now? 29 by 53 is equivalent to 53 by 29. Safely we reversed without any problem. Now, but 53 I can do modulo, right? Now, somebody help me now.
24 by 29.
24
by 29.
24. Okay. 24 plus 29. Very good. Correct. Correct. Yeah. But this you can, further. You know a little bit. Can you simplify this further?
Can ignore the
6
square.
by 29.
6 by 29. Yeah, 1 minute. Yeah, you are correct. You are correct. Actually, this is 2 square into 2 square, 4 into, no, yeah. So go slowly. So it is 8 into 3, correct? But 8 into 3 means 2 square into 2 into 3. Yeah, 4 into 6. Correct. Very good. I think, is it Venkata?
Yes, sir.
Very good. Yeah. So 2 square is not a problem. 2 square by 29 becomes 1. But I'll save side, I'll write 2 square by 29 into 6 by 29. You are correct. So, but I know this answer, it is 1. So 6 by 29. Wonderful. Right. Now 6 by 29 I guess is equal to 2 by 29 into 3 by 29. Right. So this I had to compute. So you know at least one of these answers.
First is -1 because
First is -1. Why?
it is of the form 4k plus 5.
No, 8k. You need, whenever you have
8K
2
plus
by
5.
p, 29 is of the form 8 into how much?
8 into 3 plus 5.
5. So that means it is -1. You simply see that 29 is a prime which is of the form 8k plus 5. So it is -1. 2 is not a quadratic residue. So this is done. It is equal to 3 by 29. So finally what happened? Finally, right now, so my original problem is this 29 by 53. So now 29 by 53. Now this is now boils down to minus times 3 by 29. But we can do further, right? What we can do now?
Flip it again.
Repeat again. So repeat करने के लिए again I have to -1 whole power 3 minus 1 by 2 into 29 minus 1 by 2. But already 29 minus 1 by 2 is not a problem. So it is 29 by 3. So it is now this is again plus 1 only because of the 29 still carrying on. So it is -1 times 29 by 3. Okay. So I get write one more time. So 29 by 53 finally becomes -1 times 29 by 3. But what is now next? Sorry. What is correct. Yeah. -1 times. What is our answer? Next, what we will do?
Can be rewritten as 2 by 3.
It is 2 by 3. 29 is of the form 3k. Yeah, 2 by 3. But what do you know about 2 by 3?
That is definitely -1.
Yeah, it is -1 because 3 is of the form 8k plus 3. 8 into 0 plus 3. Even though we know, again here I'm using the 2 by p. P is of the form 8k plus 3. So it is -1 into -1. So that means this 29 by 53 is actually 1. That means x square is congruent to 29 mod 53 has a solution. Okay. Now you can see that it is little difficult. Square it and do modulo 53 is maybe little difficult. Okay. So is it any questions? Do you have any questions to understand? Achila, are you clear?
Yes, sir.
Good.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, can you repeat how we got 2 by 29 is 1 in a little above?
Yeah. Okay. 2
Sir,
by
yeah,
29 is -1, right?
yeah,
Why
minus.
we got actually, you see 2 by p we computed 2 by p 1 or -1. It is 1 when my prime p is of the form 8k plus 1 or 8k plus 7.
Yes, sir.
It is -1 when it is of the form 8k plus 3 or 8k plus 5.
Yeah.
29 is of the form 8k plus 5.
Sir, why didn't we do this for 3 by 29? I can't.
But 3 by 29 I'm not done. I done only for 2 by. See, I'm not done. Earlier I only done for 2 by. I'm not done for 2 by p. I completely characterized. Yeah, so that is the next question. So instead
Okay.
of so can I do for 3 by p also? Take that as an exercise. Okay. So what are maybe the prime? Is it possible for me to compute this 3 by p? What is this value? How can you tell this problem into congruences again? That is the overall picture of this quadratic reciprocity law. Okay. Now
Yes.
here, interesting thing is that 2 into 4 is 8. 8k plus 1 and all coming. So now 3 into 4, 12. It is under 12, 12k plus 1, 12k plus 5, like that it will come. Now why we are multiplying by 4, it is interesting. That is another interesting aspect. But yeah, so actually I'll tell you this answer if you are interested. So actually this is equal to, this we need to prove, okay? We need to prove 3 by p is equal to 1 if p is of the form plus or minus 1 modulo 12. Okay, it is equal to -1 if p is congruent to plus or minus 5 modulo 12, because you know that 1 and 11 comes from here, and 5 and 7 are comes from here. Okay, now if you know this result, then you can apply. 39 is in which form? Directly here it's you can apply. 39 is in which form? In 12, based on 12.
Yeah, 5, 12 plus.
12 into 2, 24. Yeah, 12. So it is plus 5. So there it is -1. Right?
Yes.
It is. So then you can use it. So we not proved it. That's why I done all those things. Are you okay?
Okay, sir. I got confused. Thank you.
No problem. That's okay. That is good to ask. That gives an opportunity to give this result, right? But how do you prove it? That we need to see.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So I need one more class to complete all these proofs and everything. So today, why I told all these things is that even without proofs, you understand the concepts. Proofs, of course, very interesting, but I will stop with telling few things so that in future, when we meet, immediately we'll conclude. Okay. Okay. So for that, I'm not telling anything, not as a theorem or something. So few observations only. Let P be an odd prime. And a comma p GCD1. Then I am taking the set S. A, 2 into A, 3 into A, and so on. P minus 1 by 2 into A. Right? Okay. Now, so some Y belongs to S means what? How it is look like? Y is in S means there exists a K where belongs to 1, 2 up to P minus 1 by 2 such that y is equal to Ka, correct? Okay. So K is varying. Okay, now I take Ka, I divide it by P. So if I divide it by P, then it is Qk into P plus some Tk. Okay. Are you following? I take any element now here in S. You know, I am dividing it by P by division algorithm. So there is a quotient and remainder. So we focusing on remainders, you remember? Okay. So now 0 is less than or equal to Tk is less than P, right? So less than or equal to P minus 1. Okay. Now look at here. What is Ka by P? Greatest integer function. Can somebody help me?
N.
Divided by P. Both sides you divide by P, what you get?
QK, sir.
It is Qk. So you see the beauty that the division algorithm is exactly that the greatest integer function of, see, whenever you have A is equal to BQ plus R, right? So you divide it by A by B, greatest integer function is exactly this quotient. Because R is less than B, na? So R by B greatest integer becomes 0. That's why it is this. Okay, no problem. Now again I'll write K is equal to Qk. I'll remove now. This Qk, Tk, why I wrote? Somebody can help me? Why I put K here?
The number is depending on K.
Number is depending on K. I'm taking 2a, 3a, 5a. I take one of them, right? So it depending upon K. So that's why I put like, okay, so it is equal to Ka by P, greatest integer function, that is Qk value, right? Into P plus Tk. Okay, where 0 is less than or equal to Tk is less than or equal to P minus 1. So next class ke liye I'm telling few things so that again I'll repeat at that time, but when you listen second 2 times, it becomes easy for you. Okay, now I will stop in a while. Only I'll tell one point only here. Now, what are these TKs? How many numbers are there? T1, T2 up to how many are there? T?
P minus 1 by 2.
Very good. P minus 1 by 2 are there, right? What are all these things? These are the reminders when I divide Ka, right? It is just A, 2A, 2A, 3A, like that. Okay, good. Now, so you know that some of them are greater than P by 2 and some of them are less than P by 2. Right? So let us suppose that R1, R2, and so on, Rm are less than P by 2. Okay, in these reminders, you observed that. So many examples I gave. Some reminders are less than P by 2, some reminders are greater than P by 2. Now I'm calling them as S1, S2, and so on. S n. You know why n I am taking? Do you know why n I am taking? Hello, do you tell me why I'm taking n here? In the Gauss lemma, we have this n, right? N is what? You forgot. N is what?
And though the
These
number
numbers
of
greater
numbers
than-
which is greater than 0.
So I am telling some m numbers in this are less than P by 2, n numbers are greater than P by 2. That is n I took. Okay, very good. So all of these are greater than P by 2. Okay, all of these are less than P by 2. Now, is it any of these are equal here? Are they equal? These are cannot be equal to this. This is because these are greater than P by 2, these are less than P by 2. But are they any of them are equal? No, right? If they are equal, then we will get a contradiction. So that is what we done in the Fermat's theorem proof or Alice theorem proof. So these are distinct, these are distinct. This is the clever trick in the proof of Gauss lemma or Eisenstein criteria, everything. Wonderful, actually. You will see now. Then you will see the textbook, you will, without my help, you can easily understand. Here, the beautiful step they made is, wonderful step, very, very great step is that. So they removed, they subtracted it from P minus S1, P minus S2 and so on, P minus Sn. Now what we can say about these numbers now?
Less than P by 2.
Less than P by 2, good. These are all now less than P by 2. Okay, but these are also less than P by 2. These are also less than P by 2, right? That is what Gauss observed. And the interesting thing, what happened? You understand that? Can you guess something? Guess only, dream. Let us go here and see some examples, okay? Yeah, here, yeah. So it is only 2, so here it is okay. Yeah, look at here. So these are less than 13 by 2. These are greater than 13 by 2. So subtract these from 13. What is 13 minus 7?
6.
6. 13 minus 10? 3. 13 minus 12?
1.
1. See the beauty. What is that happened?
Perfect.
What is that I got?
This one.
Hmm.
Difference is 1, sir.
No, that's okay. See, 13 minus 7 is 6. 13 minus 10 is 3. 13 minus 12 is 1. Right? Now I'll add these also. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Total, how many numbers are there? 6. Now, are you able to see now? Can you say something now?
P minus 1 by 2.
So when total, what is m plus n actually? See here, what is m plus n?
P minus 1 by 2.
This we already know. There total P minus 1 by 2 are there. That's fine. But now, so now these are also less than P by 2. These are also less than P by 2. But what is the guess you can now say? What are all these numbers now? These are the numbers from
1 to P
From
minus
1 to P minus 1 by 2. To prove that one, what is that I had to prove? See, already these are distinct. These are distinct. What is that I had to show?
They are not equal.
They are not equal. If you take anybody from here, they are not equal. So let us say Ri is equal to P minus Sj. I'll get a problem. How I'll get a problem with that? I'll stop. That is the last point I want to tell you. But Ri is actually what? It actually comes from UA. A is multiplied to U and modulo P, correct? It is a remainder. Sj is also like that, some VA, modulo P. A multiplied some B and you get it, right? But U is less than P minus 1 by 2. V is less than or equal to, sorry. V is also less than or equal to P minus 1 by 2. A is multiplied up to 1 to P minus 1 by 2. So now what we can say about U plus V? It is less than P minus 1. Are you able to see that? Yeah, because these are different. U and V are different. So now, so as a congruence, what happens? U plus V into A is congruent to, right? So Ri plus Sj. Yeah, please. But this is equal to what? It is here equal to Ri plus Sj equal to how much? P. So it is a congruent to 0 mod P. That means P divides U plus V into A. But what is the GCD of A comma P? 1. And U plus V and P ka GCD also 1, because this is U plus V is license between 1 and P minus 1, actually less than or equal to, sorry, right? Maximum I can have P plus, both are okay, even both are P minus 1 by 2, P minus 1 by 2 also, I get P minus 1 by n only. So both are like this. So P cannot divide, that's a contradiction. So these are all equal. Now proof is over. Now Gauss lemma I proved actually. Very simple. So you simply multiply it up to P minus 1 by 2. So it is equal to what? R1 into R2 into, right? Rm into S1 into P minus S1. These are the same numbers, na? 1, 2 up to P minus 1 by 2, R1, R2, Rm, P minus S1, P minus S2. These are all less than P by P minus 1 by 2, P minus Sn, N. Okay. But now, if I do know now modulo, so this is a P gets cancelled, okay, in the multiplication. So we'll get minus 1 whole power n into R1 into R2 into Rm into S1 into S2 into Sn. But these are nothing but R1 is nothing but some 1 into A, 2 into A, 3 into A, these things, right? So in the product, no problem. R1 comes from some multiple of A as a reminder, but these are A, 2A up to P minus 1 by 2 into A. Okay, modulo P, right? But this is again, it is equal to minus 1 power n into P minus 1 by 2 factorial into A power P minus 1 by 2, right? So what is that finally we got? 1 is congruent to minus 1 power n into P minus 1 by 2 modulo P, right? So multiply both sides with minus 1 power n. So minus 1 power n is congruent to A power P minus 1 by 2 modulo P, right? But you know, by Euler's criteria, here I'm using Euler's criteria since I already proved it. A power P minus 1 by 2 is quadratic residue or non-quadratic residue. That is exactly A by P. Okay. So this is the value of A by P. So this is equal, this is the Gauss lemma. We proved Gauss lemma. Actually, I thought that I cannot prove it, but I proved that. I'll stop here. Thanks.
Excuse me, sir. Why have you written mod 1 there? Or is it
Mod 1.
okay? No, it's mod P here.
Mod P, everywhere mod P.
Sir, can you share mornings and evenings PDFs?
Yeah, I'll share. I'll write little better here. Yeah, you can leave actually. Yeah, thanks. Any questions we have? You can ask.
Sir, recording is going on.
Yeah, I know. I am stopping now. Thanks.